Yes, we are live. Hello. Oh, we had a little technical snafu, but here's Martina Wing talking about manta rays again, live from Hawaii. I hope you join us every week at 11 a.m. on Wednesdays. We get a very common question is out, what's this Manta experience all about? It's so hard to explain. And I thought I could go into a little bit more detail how this works, what is the experience itself, what is the best case scenario, and show you what divers experience and snorkelers as well. And so I have a few props prepared, and let's dive right into this. Okay, so first of all, where are we located? What's going on here? So this is the big island of Hawaii, and we are the biggest island of the island chain. We are the most southern, and so this is the big island, nicely shaped. And then we are here in Kailua Kona. That's where I am right now, in Kailua Kona. And then we have two places where the activity takes place. And one we call the airport location, and one is the Keaho location. Then we have usually divers up here at the airport location. That's where the dive boats go. It's the better landscaping, underwater landscape to conduct the activity. And in Keaho, we usually have snorkel boats. And want to give you also an idea what's the best case scenario, how do we do this. So we're jumping into the ocean at night. We wait about sunset. And this is a quick picture of this, but I actually have something prepared for you so you can see it a little better. Let me just get to this real quick. Like here, I'm turning the camera around. Here we go. So this is the wrong picture, and this is what I wanted to show you. So you can see here the Manta experience it takes place at night. We have this beautiful sky up here, and thanks to Adam Frame, I have this really cool drawing here. And so Pacific Ocean at night, nice warm water. And then we conduct this in about 30 feet of depth. I hope you can see my mouse a little bit here. This is the ocean bottom. It's about 10 meters deep, 30 feet. And then we have boats. That boats bring the people to the locations, to the airport or to the care locations. The boats are, in the best case scenario, stay away from the actual activity. They park the boats, there are mooring systems along the coastline. And then you have the boats bring divers, and you see the divers down here. And you see the little light in here. That is what we call the campfire. There's actually a light box. I have more of that in a little bit. And then you have up here, these are snorkel rafts, different groups. So sizes of the groups are between, the biggest boat that we have out here brings like 25 people at the same time. But many boats have also only 6 people as paying customers. And so they gather all in these 2 bays and then bring the snorkelers. And snorkelers are organized by snorkel rafts, and the divers by dive groups. Now the best ratio is to have, for the divers, about 6 divers on 1 dive master. And on the snorkelers, I believe it's the same ratio would be good, 6 to 8. When you go to the 10, 12 and plus on 1 snorkel guide, it's actually quite a lot of things to consider to keep it safe. All right, and so what happens? We turn on lights at night. This is kind of this illumination of the snorkel raft, and you can see down here the illumination of the light box. And what happens at night, so it happens after sunset, and the best time, you see it up here, is 25 to 90 minutes after sunset is the best timing to see the manta rays. So sunset, and then wait another 25 minutes, then it's dark enough so that plankton is attracted to light. And when plankton is abundant, the manta rays along this coastline have learned to associate light with food. And then they come really close. And because everybody is supposed to be in passive interaction, we don't touch the manta rays, we don't, like snorkelers, stay on the surface, they don't free dive down. The divers, they stay on the bottom, they don't interfere with the midsection. This is where the manta rays, hey Mike and Tara Kelly. Hi Tara, that's cool, thanks for being here. So this space we call is the midwater section is manta space, and we do not interfere with what the manta rays are trying to do. It's written out here, manta ray feeding areas, snorkelers on the raft with lights, and the divers with the lights on the bottom. Best case scenario is the engines are off, they're moored, they're safe distance from the activity, And they're also not illuminated, because that what happens is what you have lights close to a boat. These manta rays would actually all be drawn to the boats instead of staying in one central viewing area. All right, so this is what we call the campfire method. And this wood just comes from a place where you put a light box on the bottom, and then divers sit around the light box. Here we only have 3 divers, but you can expect 20 to 30 to 40 people underwater. It's quite a rock concert, and I want to go into the video footage I have for you guys prepared, so it makes a little bit more sense to you. Yeah. Alrighty. So, and then we move on to the video, and I also want to talk about diving versus snorkeling. So it's for both groups. Plus, I want to, when I come back later on when the footage is done, it's like 3-minute footage, then I come back and tell you the prerequisites, so you know what you need to do to make this a really beautiful experience for you to see the manta rays. Alrighty, so here's the footage. It should play. Yep. So first we go with diving, and on the diver footage, it's jerking now. Great. Okay, here we go. So what you see here is the light box. It's a box just really with lights, and it's being brought every single time. And you see the bottom here is rubble, and it's kind of sand and rubble. And the lights bring the plankton, and the manta rays just glide over the light box and run into each other when we have many mantas, but they just want all the same piece of plankton. And then we have the divers. You can see the light box here in the background, back here. And then we set the divers around the light box, and the manta rays just have their nice feeding, and the divers have a blast because they just sit there and they enjoy the show. It's quite a thing. That's a little bit just a different situation, but you can see here is a big rock in someone's lap just to weigh you down. We do want you guys to be on the bottom the whole time, but you see how close the animals come. It's really a thrill. It's a really cool thing to do. And yeah, and this guy, he enjoys himself. He gives me an okay while I was filming. And you want to maybe watch the wingtip now. It's like, woof, he's getting also, oh, we did it now actually 3 times just to make sure you see it, where the manta rays touch the divers. And trust me, people love what's going on. Yeah, but this is a bigger scene now where the manta rays are all just doing their thing. And this is for the diving part. Divers on the bottom, manta rays have their space, and everybody's happy. Now for snorkeling, it's a little different, but similar. What you see, I'm shooting from below, I'm shooting towards the surface from 30 feet up, and you see the manta rays doing these rolls, and you see these little spotlights. They're not the stars, these are actually people with lights. You can maybe see a little bit shining through the fins. Then these lights are actually, that we just saw, are installed in some kind of device. In this case, it's a surfboard. That's the most common used here on the coastline. And the snorkelers are holding onto it. And they have a blast. You see the shaka this guy is giving us. And yeah, we definitely call this a close-up to a beautiful, beautiful, harmless creature. And the idea is flat on the surface, do not interfere with the animal. I think I'm going to switch over now to a different device. Yeah, here we go. There are other boats that have these long devices. It's a really long one. They bring like 20 people, 25 people. But I talked about the ratio, what I believe is good for one snorkel guide to the safety for all the guests. So 6 to 8 would be good. And then the manta ray is just, but the manta is doing the same thing. They don't care, or the manta ray doesn't care who is attached to what. They just want to be close to the lights because that's where the food is abundant. And this is one of the older devices that people used to use here. It's a ring, but I want to give you this also, how manta rays just come belly to belly to the snorkelers. I just love this. All right. Okay, and I think we're coming to an end for the footage. And you're gonna see me here in a second again. And here we go. I'm gonna switch back to me. Alrighty. I hope you enjoy this footage a little bit. I'm gonna just stop this footage real quick. Here we go. And so I hope this gives you a little bit of an idea what the experience is about, what the best case scenario is, the timing as well, and how divers experience it, and the snorkelers as well, in the situation that we have manta rays. Now, some nights we have 1 manta ray, some nights we have 5 manta rays, my record is out there, and it's the record being recorded, is 46 manta rays in one night. Now everything is possible. You just have to be in the right place at the right time. But if you want to know a little bit more about, we can talk about statistics at some point. I talked about it as well last week. Just check out the other Facebook Lives if there's any interest for you guys that to answer some questions if you plan to come and do the experience. So prerequisites to dive and snorkel for this experience. For the divers, you have to be at least a scuba diver. I highly recommend that you are at least an open water scuba diver to do the experience. And the age for that to be an open water scuba diver is 10 years old. So yes, kids can do it too, but they have to be certified. If you haven't been diving in a while, and I know of some groups here in Kona that say if you haven't dove in like 2 years, then you should definitely do a refresher, and I support this very much so, that you have either a refresher in a pool or in the ocean during the day, and you can easily do this here with all the dive boats, or you can go, or what I also recommend is doing the 2-tank charter, which means you do 2 dives. One is the first early dive before like twilight hours, and then you do the night dive. So you're at location already and you get an idea how this all comes together. This is for the divers, so prerequisite is open water scuba diver. Actually scuba diver, but I recommend open water scuba diver. Let me just look at my notes real quick. And this is for the snorkelers. What I highly recommend is you should know how to swim, and you should also know how to snorkel. At least have basic experience in snorkeling. Just for the simple reason you're going in the ocean at night with big fish, and if you have never been in the ocean before and snorkeling, or you don't know how to swim and you're actually afraid of the ocean, don't trust people saying to you, oh, you can do that, no problem. You can just, there is so many emotions connected to this experience of, first of all, being humbled and being in awe, but also you feel like, if something goes wrong, something can go wrong really fast. So have your basic skills in place. Again, you can do that easily with snorkeling. Go at home, maybe there's a dive club close by and they have some equipment, and you can do it if you prepare early. If you come to town, you can also rent snorkeling equipment and go out, but you maybe want to check on one of those videos I will create that is about basic introduction to snorkeling equipment. It's kind of an important piece. It's how you see the manta rays and also how you breathe. So because we want you to breathe and we want you to see the manta rays. All right, so basic for snorkelers, basic swimming for sure. You need to know how to swim, and you need to know how to snorkel, at least the basics, how the equipment all works. Alrighty, so these are the prerequisites. I think that's actually pretty simple, but for many people it's not that simple. Of course, I live in this industry for so long, and I do remember when I did it the very first time, it was just pretty crazy and overwhelming. For the most part, it was overwhelming on so many levels. Cool. Now I'm almost done. I do have 2 Qs that people asked us all the time, so I want to do a quick Q&A, and I want to read this back to you guys. What animals might we see out there? Will there be sharks? So the S word. This is what people are always like, oh my God, do I see a shark? Who goes in the ocean at night? So the manta rays who preys on manta rays are the big sharks. That is correct. But in all our years along this coastline, I maybe repeat myself, but I have probably 4,000 hours and 19 years in the ocean with the animals, with the manta rays at night at the experience. My husband Jim is doing this since 91, so even more dives, probably 6,000, 7,000. Then Ryan, working with us for so long, she has several thousand. So all of 3 of us together, we have many, many hours at the Manta Experience. We've never seen the big sharks that hunt manta rays. And actually sharks are there to just take out the ones that shouldn't be there in the first place, the old, the sick, the injured. But of course, this is I think it's a valid thought that you have, but I want to assure you it doesn't happen. It would have happened by now by probability if in these 10,000 hours being at the experience, all of us have never seen a big shark coming to check on us. And I actually believe it's the opposite. There's actually quite a lot of motion and noise from the regulators, bubbles, the boats, it doesn't draw them in. They're deep water sharks. They hunt at night offshore, and we are really close to shore. We are in about, I don't know, 100 yards away from the shoreline. Cool. So I hope I give you a little bit peace of mind with the shark question, the big S word. And let me look at the last question. And how likely is it that we see a manta ray? Well, let's go back to the statistics, and I want to refer to the video from last week, that we do have a 90% chance, usually in all these years that we did the statistics, that you can see the manta rays. But of course, we also always have these dips in between where there's no plankton available at these locations. And it's not that we bring the plankton, it's either there from the ocean or it's not there, and the manta rays come or they don't show up because, trust me, they're all interested in the food and they're not really interested in you. I'm going to burst the big bubble that you might have. They come for you. They don't, the manta rays are there for the food. It's a food-driven situation. That's it. That's what I want to tell you about our beautiful Manta Ray experience. I do believe it's something you should do in your life. I want to go into more detail sometime soon about who to choose, how to choose the right operator to go out with, because it is a big industry over the years. It has grown exponentially, and there are big differences from the spectrum, who's doing it right, who's doing it, well, could do it better. And there's a lot of information I have to share with you as well. So that's it for now. Thank you so much for listening. If you listen later at the pre-play, that's awesome. Thanks for checking it out. Thanks, Tara, for being here. And the very last thing I just want you to do is, when the Facebook Live is over, click on notification on so you will know that we're going live, and I can you will be notified before I'm live. So thanks for listening. I'll talk to you later, and have a nice day. Bye-bye.